Okay, what should you look for in chapter 4? I think that there are a lot of really good themes in this chapter, so let's dive into them really quickly. The first is the overall theme. I think is really on interpretation. Of course, that's the title of the chapter, and this is going to help you with your paper on interpretation as well. So the first thing I think you really need to pay attention to and understand is what he means when he talks about cognitive dissonance. Now he says that the early Christians experienced kind of two types of cognitive dissonance, and I want you to be able to understand those two types. So the first type is this experience or this dissonance that they experienced between the divine power that they were given in the resurrection and in the early Christian experience, and then their actual condition of the world. So be sure you understand that one. And then the second one is much more theological, that Jesus did not really fit the mold of what the Jewish hope had been, and so understand kind of that theological dissonance as well. And then I want you to kind of turn the corner and look at how the authors of the Gospels, how the writers of these Gospels, were going to now take the sayings, the memories of Jesus that had really been passed down in oral tradition, and really understood in their own specific setting and their practices, how those are then transmitted into a written text. So I think that he does a good job of looking at this. Of course, he's arguing that the vast majority of the stories and sayings of Jesus were transmitted through discrete units or through anecdotes. Be sure that you understand this, because when we start reading the Gospels, I think that this will provide you a better backbone and a better foundation for you to work from. So for the most part, then, the appearance of the individual units of memory, again, these oral traditions within the Gospels, fit the hypothesis that they were communicated orally in community contexts, and were both selected and shaped by the continuing experience of these communities. And so this is why we have four different Gospels. They were written by different communities, for different communities, for different and very specific purposes. So then he turns the corner then and talks about the death of Jesus and these what we call passion narratives. Be sure you understand what that term passion narrative means. And then be sure to understand not only the historical significance of this, but also the theological significance of it as well. I think this is a pretty good chapter on interpretation, and so take the time to really understand his argument, and then you'll do just fine on the ID check.